There was a story about this fellow who was, he said to his friend, I'm having trouble with my memory. And his friend said, well, he said, me too. He said, but I went to memory school and it's greatly improved it. And the chap said, well, I probably ought to try that too. What's the name of the school? He said, it's, give us a flower. The fellow said, tulip. He said, no. Give me another flower. He said, rhododendron. He said, no. Give me another flower. Rose. That's it, Rose. Rose? What's the name of that school I went to? Why don't I tell jokes anyway? So, I really like Irish jokes. Except we don't tell Irish jokes anymore because we're not supposed to be, it's not politically correct to tell racial jokes. So in Ireland, the Irish are nice people, and Ireland is a beautiful place. And besides, there's lots of other people we can pick on anyway. Like the Dutch, for instance. You know why the Dutch wear wooden shoes? To keep the woodpeckers off their heads. So there was these two Dutchmen sitting at the bar, Pat and Mike. Sitting there drinking for 4 hours solid, and then Pat fell on the floor and crashed. And Mike says to the bartender, that's one thing about Pat, he always knows when he's had enough. And he got up and he dusted himself off, and he says to the bartender, he said, do your lemons have legs? The bartender says, no. He says, I think I've just squeezed a canary into my drink. Can you give us a fresh drink? The bartender says, you can't have another drink, you can't even see straight. He said, I can see from here there's a cat just come in the door, and I can see from here the cat has only got one eye. And the bartender looks and says, the cat's going out the door. So yes. And so I'm staggering around the parking lot outside after the thing. There was a fella had trouble with the car, had the hood up. And Pat walks up to him and says, what's the matter with the car? And the fella said, piston broke. He said, so are we. And then they get in the car and they get out again and go back into the pub to use the phone, and they phone up the police station. Hello, police station, asked if somebody has been in my car and stolen the steering wheel and the brake pedal and the gas pedal. So we'll have a man on that right away, sir. So he goes out and have another look at the car and he goes back in again. Hello, asked forget the first call, I was sitting in the back seat. And they get in the car and they go whistling up a one-way street in the wrong direction, and the cop stops him. He says, where are you going? He says, I don't know, but we must be late because they're all coming back already. It's a one-way street. We're only going one way. Did you see the arrows? Didn't even see the bloody Indians. Is this car licensed? It certainly is, I said, but what would you like? He said, what's your name? Patrick. He says, where do you live? No fixed address. He says the other one, where do you live? In the flat above. So, can you identify yourself? He said, I certainly can, Oscar. And he took out his wallet and took out a little mirror and he looks in the mirror and he said, that's me, all right. The cop is Dutch too. He grabs a mirror and says, no, it isn't. So, after a little while they get going again, and the pastor and Pat says to Mike, he says, we must be getting close to the village, we're running over more people. And they drop him off, and he's staggering around trying to get the key in the door, and another cop sees him and he comes over and says, do you want me to hold the key? He says, I got a good grip on the key. I said, well, can you grab a house? He finally gets inside and he takes his shoes off and he's creeping up the stairs. The old battle axe is waiting for him at the top of the stairs, and she says, so, home is the best place after all? It's the only place that's open anyway. Drunk again? Me too. Well, why do you come crawling home to me? It's the only way I can make it. And he says it's his turn. He said, tonight we're going to make love a new way. She says, oh really, what's that? And we're going to do a 96. What is it, 96? Upside down and back to back. It's ridiculous, it's disgusting. Anyway, it's impossible. He says, no, isn't. I invited another couple. Come on in. Okay, a song to take a break on. It's called the Lambeth Walk. When you hear the phrase doing the Lambeth Walk, you stick your thumb over your shoulder and go, oi. Oi. Right. Watch out for the waitress, we don't want any surprised looks. During the Lambeth Walk, every little Lambeth gal with a little Lambeth pal, you'll find them all. During the Lambeth Walk, everything free and easy, to right around well pleasing. Why don't you make your way there, play there, stay there, anytime you're Lambeth way, any evening, any day, you'll find them all. During the Lambeth Walk, straight to the bar, back in a minute, thanks. Have another drink, we need the money.